There we go. So if you don't want your face to be seen on here, you can go ahead and keep your screen off. I'm going to ask you all to remain muted unless you're one of my students and it's your turn to talk. That way there won't be too much feedback going on here. I'm going to start sharing my screen and we'll get this going. I'm going to try and be real conscious of your time. I know that this sure makes a late night for folks, and I'm grateful for you being here today. And you can change your setting in Zoom if you wiggle your mouse over top of the pictures of folks. You can change it to have different images. The one that looks like the equal sign will show a panel of folks, and then the one that looks like just one square will just show the person speaking. And that might be the best bet. Make sure you can see everything on the screen. So this is the Environmental Studies program. Welcome. And in truth, right, this is such a new program that what you're actually seeing in this image right here is the Brock Environmental Center. This is the space of which we are. You only see the footers of our building that that is being built as we speak here. We're much further along in the building process. Actually, it's set to be open for us to get into it in the next month or so. So that'll be an exciting evolution. But this is our space. And here at this facility, located at Pleasure House Point Natural Area on the Lynn Haven River at the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay, students learn about sustainability and environmental studies, and they learn by doing. This is a hands-on immersive learning experience. What makes our program unique is that students' experiences with nature and sustainable technologies prepare them for a variety of emerging sustainable and environmental markets that they would not otherwise have access to. And as we're going through this, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and we'll have some time at the end to go through your questions. Feel free to talk to me about stuff or my students. We're not going to have any breakouts or anything like that. We're just rolling straight through you and me the whole way. There's a growing demand in environmental and sustainable business sectors across the board. And with Dominion Energy building 220 offshore wind turbines 27 miles off of our Virginia Beach coast, we are expanding in renewable markets. These are exciting careers that are working to make a better tomorrow today. And they're growing across the board. And they're right here in Virginia Beach, so we want to take advantage of them. This program is going to allow you to do that. The Chesapeake Bay Foundation's Brock Environmental Center at Pleasure House Point Natural Area is our classroom. We are not located at a school, and I think that's really, really important to be aware of. This is an architectural rendering. I know it's sort of mind-blowing to think that this is an architectural rendering. It looks just like a photograph. But this is the finished classroom, and we're very close to looking as this is right now. The siding's up. They're working on the finishes inside. Sure, we're connected to the 10th living building in the world. And yes, we have a LEED Platinum state-of-the-art detached classroom. And of course, we have a bio wall that's a vegetation system that regulates our classroom's air quality. And yes, we have a learning loft and 2 decks that have Wi-Fi access and beautiful bay views. We have all that. But what's really important here, what matters most, is that this is not a school. We are redefining where learning happens by having a classroom connected to a nonprofit organization that is smack dab in the middle of a natural preserve. We get outside, we get our hands dirty, and we have an adventure with our learning. And we're setting out to solve real world problems. So I just want to show you a few pictures of the space. I am not a great photographer by any means, but I just get captivated, y'all, by looking at this space. This is right outside of our classroom. This place is pretty. This is where you're not going to see turf. You're not going to see practice fields. You're not going to see grass here. You're just going to see water and ecosystems. And this is our classroom. This is the space where students will be every single day, learning and exploring and collecting data and being a part of the world. This is a place where anyone can come at any time for free and walk around on the grounds. I mean, goodness gracious, this looks like some sort of fine dining outdoor cafe that I'd pay a lot of money to go to if we weren't in the middle of COVID right now. But this is our classroom. This is the deck right off of our classroom. This is one of the 2 wind turbines at the Brock Environmental Center and the Environmental Studies program. This is where we learn every day. It's an exciting, real, beautiful space to be a part of. Here's a digital rendering, an architectural rendering of the inside space of the Environmental Studies classroom that's connected to the Brock Environmental Center, which is the Chesapeake Bay Foundation's Virginia headquarters of their organization. And the only things that I would say that are different in this picture is that the chairs will be blue, and this one vegetated wall that you see here is pretty boring looking in this picture. In actuality, though, it's going to look more like this. We're actually using the same company to create that wall space that that made Under Armour's bio wall that purifies the air for their office space. And so the thing that we won't have on ours is the Under Armour logo, but we're working on some ideas, including having a metal map of the Chesapeake Bay watershed imposed in line work over top of the vegetated plants. So, not only is it an educational tool, purifies our air, but students get to see how this really exciting modern technology that's also an ecosystem that's in our classroom works. They get to be a part of the maintenance of this space. And by being a part of this and being trained with third-party vendors that come in, they get a lot of experience on how this stuff works that makes them viable for emerging markets. All right, so the building, the grounds, and the surrounding bodies of water are where we learn. These spaces are on the very forefront of environmental architecture, engineering, and making an ideal location for exploring oyster restoration, aquaculture, fisheries, forestry management, environmental policy, wind, solar, water purification, environmental building design, and more. Our state-of-the-art equipment gives you hands-on experiences with field equipment that is used by leading experts in the field, industries and university grade equipment. And sure, this is all done with the intent of learning and career potential, but it is also equally important as an opportunity to get out of a seat and explore nature, to breathe it in and enjoy life. At the end of the day, we are here to make the world a better place. And it's important for us to recognize that this is something that is going to help your resume grow. This is going to help give you really, really exciting opportunities, maybe help get you published. But this is also going to give you hopefully lifelong friendships and some exciting potential to explore and get a breath of fresh air. There are 3 strands that as you work through your junior year, you'll be trying to figure out, well, which one of these strands do I fit into? The first strand is sustainable economics and business innovation. The second strand is social sustainability and activism. And the third strand is environmental sustainability and natural resource stewardship. So I could continue ranting on, and I'm sure my students will say that I do, about all these different components, but I want to give you the opportunity to meet some of my students and hear, particularly with this first grouping of students, their ideas of what strand they might be a part of and some thoughts from theirs. So without any further ado, I want to introduce you to Parks.
Hi, my name's Parks Schmidt, and I'm a junior over at Cox High School. I fit more into the first strand of the program. I'm very interested in architecture and engineering and all that. And when we're learning at the Brock Center, it's a very unique experience just due to the Brock Center itself, as well as the things we do within. The Brock Center itself is one of only 10 buildings that live up to the Living Building Challenge in the United States. And it is also certified platinum in the LEED Challenge. And those two challenges are some of the most rigorous in the world. Past this, it also made American and Virginian history by being one of the first commercial buildings to produce its own drinking water. And past this, we do see a lot of very unique things within it. Most notably is its usage of reclaimed building material. And one of the more interesting parts of that is the use of reclaimed gymnasium flooring used for the building. The building itself, as well, produces more energy than it actually uses, and it shoots off all of the excess to the Dominion power grid. And just learning more about the architecture and the engineering that went into producing not only a very aesthetically pleasing building, but also a building that helps to promote the environment around it is just something you're not going to find anywhere else. And it's honestly one of my favorite parts of the entire program.
Thank you. And, you know, to add on to that, one of my favorite things of going around this space and being a part of it is if you look on the walls, some of the trim, you can actually see where kids from ages ago, when the building was a part of some other place, had carved their names into the wooden bleachers. And so you can see some little heart shapes and stuff. It sort of tells a unique story of its past life. That's embedded in this new building, which is pretty neat. All right, so let me introduce you to Jordan.
Hi, my name is Jordan Lewis, and I'm a junior at Kellam High School. Personally, I've always wanted to fight for social justice issues through environmental injustices, and this program has given me an important inside and outside voice. Mr. Freeman has become such a huge role model in my life, and he has presented me with amazing opportunities, such as a personal interview with the Virginian pilot that got published, and Ava, Michaela, and I have actually been asked to write a research paper about social injustices and how sustainable schools can help aid these issues. And this will actually be published nationwide that will allow us to be published as 11th graders, and I don't know where else I would find an opportunity like that.
All right, yeah, that will be actually published in the Green School Catalyst Quarterly, which is a national publication by the Green School National Network, which is pretty exciting. Ava?
Hi, I'm Ava, and I'm a junior at Kellam High School. And personally, this program combines everything I'm interested in and passionate about. It's just helped me to realize how deeply everything is connected from the way we interact with each other and the world. I feel like the relationship we have with people around us and the planet is oftentimes overlooked, and everything we learn in this class just really helps to put everything in perspective. I've always felt a calling to do good in the world, and this program has only further fueled my passion for environmental and social injustice.
All right, and Michaela.
Well, you're gonna cut her off.
Oh my goodness, I had no idea. Was she not done? I feel so bad.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Ava, continue. My goodness.
I just wanted to say that Freeman is probably the best person to teach this program because he just knows so much more than what's required of him. He keeps class engaging and fun, and he's just really passionate about everything he does.
Oh goodness. See, I didn't want to cut you off on that. Wow. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, well, hi, I'm Michaela. I'm a junior at Tallwood High School, and when I first heard about the program, it was just some orientation that I had to go to, and I was going because I could skip classes and stuff. So, and then I was looking at it at such a surface level, and I feel like an idiot for that because I just saw, oh, there was travel opportunities, and I got to be out of school, and I could be on doing some hands-on stuff. And now that I look back at it, it's just like this program has given me direction that no other teacher or school or any program or any lesson has ever given me, and something that I found something I'm truly passionate about, which is a huge thing for me to say, and my mom's really happy about that. Now I have something to talk about other than, yeah, school was okay, and I can actually tell her I learned something. And not a lot of students can say that. And through Mr. Freeman, I know a lot more than I did before. And I feel like I actually found a purpose. And I'm truly grateful to Freeman and this opportunity, which is, the first, it's a once in a lifetime for me. And, you guys have the opportunity now to join, and I wholeheartedly recommend it. And I just want to thank the opportunity and Freeman for giving me so much insight in something that I needed in my life. And he always has answers, and he might go on a tangent a little bit, but honestly, that's my favorite part of the day. Just whenever he just goes off and talks about something, I'm just like, yes, yes. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Go on to whoever needs to.
Thank you, Michaela. Tangents, huh? Oh goodness. Well, that's probably true. Oh goodness. All right. So the curriculum in which we cover, it covers a wide range of water-related content, including sea level rise mitigation strategies, oyster restoration and cultivation, ecotourism, and marine ecology. This is a 2-year program for juniors and for seniors. As a junior, you will take classes like AP Environmental Science, Natural Resource Management, and here's one with a real long name, Sustainability, Core Concepts, and Environmental Systems. And lastly, Watershed Hydrology. As said, these get you outside and hands-on. As a senior, you have one class that is actually online to keep your schedule flexible, and you are connected, actually embedded into an environmental business that aligns with your career interests, and you partake in immersive internship/mentorship, which is pretty wild, pretty exciting stuff. In that senior year, you also have a culminating project that you present to industry leaders and to people within the region. So a lot of exciting stuff going on there. Goals for this program include utilizing the natural community as a context for learning about environmental and sustainable issues, implementing environmental service learning projects, integrating interdisciplinary instruction, incorporating challenge-based collaboration into design thinking and learning, and earning the seal of excellence in science. That will go on your transcripts. Opportunities abound. One opportunity is the Chesapeake Bay Foundation's Oyster Barge that's connected to our dock. Did I not mention that we have a dock? I mean, this place is pretty cool. The Oyster Barge is planting millions of oysters and works towards a goal of 10 billion new oysters in the bay by 2025. This unique mobile facility sits atop 2 linked barges that hold 6 850-gallon tanks where baby oysters will grow on recycled shells and reef balls. Where the oysters have set, these shells and reef balls are planted on nearby sanctuary reefs. These resources are housed at our dock, and the staff that runs that operation are eager to work with students to teach students every step of the process. Another opportunity worth mentioning is our partnership with the Teton Science School. If students are interested, they will have the opportunity to travel and learn about forestry management and mountaineering tourism in the Grand Tetons and Yellowstone National Park. I mean, come on, who doesn't want to do that? This is high altitude adventure at its best. it's important to acknowledge that students really have passions beyond just school. And the more that we can, and when you think about where learning happens, right, it happens in a more hopefully exciting place than school, right? And what we're trying to do here is connect to those passions and make a learning environment that's not school. And so we have fishing rods. We have the capacity to connect to waterways in some fun and exciting ways, and we can bring stuff back and put stuff under our microscopes as well. I want to actually pause here because I didn't get the opportunity, and we have a video that I want to show you to talk about one of our other strands. I'm going to actually stop sharing my screen just for a second here. I want to pull up another student. I have to change some settings on my screen to do this. All right, here we go.
Hi, my name is Jack, and I'm a participant of the Environmental Studies program. This program has turned out to be one of my favorite classes this year. While COVID has made the learning environment quite different, Mr. Freeman has kept the information relevant, interesting, and engaging. Whether we are doing group presentations, research projects, or hands-on field research, class instruction and activities are always fun. This program really focuses on 3 strands, those strands being sustainable economics and business innovation, social sustainability and activism, environmental sustainability, and natural resource stewardship. One of the areas that piqued my interest was the program's relevance to marine biology, oceanography, and the 3rd strand of environmental sustainability and natural resource stewardship. The Environmental Studies program, we have access to tons of research equipment. The Brightfield Compound Microscope and the HydroLab Multi-Parameter Sonde are oceanographic research equipment available to us. The Brightfield Compound Microscope gives you the ability to view fixed and live specimens. At the Brock, it will help us study a variety of plankton we will pull out of the water using our plankton nets. The HydroLab Sonde is my favorite out of all the equipment available to us due to all the possibilities it has. It can collect data on temperature, conductivity, depth, pH, dissolved oxygen, turbidity, and oxidation reduction potential. What is cool is that current marine biologists and oceanographic scientists use equipment exactly like this. This gives you knowledge and hands-on experience that can't be done in a regular classroom. Not only do I greatly enjoy the Environmental Studies program, I am excited to have the opportunity to possibly work with the Marine Mammal Rescue Team at the Virginia Aquarium for my senior year internship. If you found any of this interesting, I implore you to apply for this program. You won't regret it.
All right, let me stop sharing there. And I'm going to go back to my slides here. Oh, actually, you know what? I want to stop sharing again and change that setting because I can't see you when I keep that video setting on. Forgive me for bouncing around a little bit. All right, so it's important to realize that something that we're trying to accomplish here is connecting people's passions to learning. When I think about where I learn, it might be curled up on the couch with a book, or it might be on a walk with leaves crunching under my feet. It certainly isn't with my hiney in a chair having someone lecture to me all day, particularly with the current state of where things are. It's hard to learn, and everyone's been taxed to their limit. I understand that, and I want you all to know that this is a space that is trying to redefine learning. Let me see if I can forward the slide here. And so here you can see the oyster barge. You can see one of our 2 decks that are at our facilities that have Wi-Fi that we can actually learn on nice days and spend some time out. You see one of the Chesapeake Bay Foundation boats at the dock there. We can go out with the Chesapeake Bay Foundation by signing up with them on a variety of options that they have at our facilities. And we all want a little more adventure with our learning. After all, that's what makes memories, right? Is that adventure that helps connect that learning to us. It's a pretty darn important thing. So I want to take a minute and have some more student perspectives shared with you, and we'll start that off with Hope.
Hi, my name is Hope, and I go to Kellam High School. Being able to attend the Environmental Studies program this year has been such a great experience for me. There are so many opportunities that are available for you in and out of the classroom. There are a lot of hands-on experiences in this program that my classmates and I have participated in this year, including tree coring, observing the oyster reefs, experimenting the Maine wildlands in Virginia Beach, and taking samples of different ecosystems. In addition, through this program, you are able to apply what you learn in the classroom to the outside world. This is super important to me because I want to be able to use the knowledge I gain in the classroom to different situations in my everyday life. One of my favorite events that I participated in this year was when I cored a tree. Did you know that when you core a tree, not only can you see how old the tree is, but you can see the different weather conditions that occurred throughout the tree's lifetime? When you core trees, you were able to tell if there were any droughts, forest fires, or other natural disasters that occurred. You can also sample dead trees and go back even further in time and see what kind of environmental issues happened. Scientists have been able to use the evidence in the tree rings to go back over 12,000 years ago. This process of coring tree rings to find out data about a tree's lifetime is called dendrochronology. This is something that you will have the opportunity to do if you take this program. The Brock Center is a beautiful place to learn, and there is so much nature around you to experiment with. If coring trees wasn't exciting enough, on top of all this, you will have the opportunity to have the most enthusiastic, fun, and knowledgeable teacher in the field. Mr. Freeman always finds ways to incorporate fun experiments in the classroom and get you out in nature.
Thank you, Hope. I appreciate that very much. Julia, what do you have what are you interested in talking about here?
Hi, I'm Julia. I'm a junior at Kellam High School. This program offers you so many opportunities, and one of the opportunities is making friends. If making friends is what you want to do, then this is the program for you, because we work together all the time with labs and projects, and we meet the most amazing people that will always help you no matter what. And these people all have the same interest as you. So what's cooler than that?
I don't know what's cooler than that, to be honest with you. I love that. Thank you for saying that. Mallory, I love those earrings, Mallory. I love them.
Hi, I'm Mallory. I'm a junior at Lansdowne High School, and I've had an enormous love for marine biology ever since I can remember. So when I heard about this program my sophomore year, my eyes absolutely lit up. Being able to spend half of my school day researching and being involved in the environment that I care so deeply about, sign me up. Since I've been a part of the environmental studies program, I've expanded my knowledge of the environment so much, and it has opened so many doors for my career. Oh my gosh. Opened so many doors for career opportunities for me in the future. For example, during the senior year of your time in the program, you will take part in an internship for one of the 3 strands of the program: sustainable economics and business, social sustainability and activism, or the strand that I chose, environmental sustainability and natural resource management. With the strand that I chose, the opportunity for me to spend my senior year doing research at the aquarium arose. The Virginia Beach Aquarium has numerous research projects going on as of right now, such as a jellyfish breeding program, wild ocean mammal photographing and for data collection, gallery assisting in education, water quality monitoring / animal health screens, and many, many more. My mind still isn't fully made up which of those I want to be a part of yet, but the fact that the environmental studies program has even given me those opportunities in the first place, part of in high school. This program is truly like nothing that has ever been done before, and you absolutely will not regret your decision to apply.
Thank you, Mallory. We were having a little bit of mic trouble there, but I think people got the gist of what you were saying. I appreciate your perspective there. So thank you for that. Internet conductivity is such a tricky, such a tricky part of this. Nick, are you there? I know that sometimes we have some technical stuff with your internet feed. Are you there, bud?
I'm here.
All right.
Hey guys, my name is Nicholas Collins. I'm a junior at Cox, and I absolutely love the environmental science program here at the Brock Center. Not only do we have a myriad of tools to use to learn, we also have a huge area to go explore and research. As someone who wants to grow up to be a herpetologist, I think this program is perfect for me. One project has piqued my interest especially. Working with Virginia Beach Parks and Recreational Center, we will be going out and surveying diamond terrapin turtles, Malaclemys terrapin, populations and nesting sites in Virginia Beach parks and natural areas. After completing the data collection, it will all be evaluated and sent to state, which will eventually become a full scientific publication published by the state. I think it's a great opportunity to see how data collection and research papers are written in the field. This is something you cannot miss. I highly recommend this program for anyone who has any interest in any subject relating to environmental science. This program so far has been an absolutely awesome and wonderful experience for me.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate that. And I appreciate y'all don't realize that Nick, every animal that he sees, he knows the scientific name of. That's not something that I've taught him. That's something that he teaches everyone around him when we're out and about. Excellent. Appreciate that. So as we're sort of wrapping up this before we get to question and answer session, I do want to mention that this is a half-day program. So you would be a part of an AM or a PM session here at the Environmental Studies program, and you get these great Environmental Studies program experiences while still maintaining an enriching connection to your homeschool and your homeschool friends. You can see the schedule that we're at right here. This is this year's schedule. This is the first year we've actually been a thing, right? So we're very new. Clearly, the times will change when we go back to a more normal schedule once we get through all this COVID stuff. But we're working through it like all the other schools in the area. But you can see the AM and PM schedule, and you can see the school breakdown. So you can look at what school you're at, and you can look and see, oh, okay, I'm in the AM session or I'm in the PM session here. And we bus you back in time, unless you're driving, we bus you back in time for sports and all the typical things that you might be involved in a regular school year after school's over. And so you might be wondering, like, geez, with a specialty program like this, there must be some just insurmountable prerequisites to get in, but that's really not the case. You know, we're looking at similar prerequisites to what it would take for you to take AP Environmental Science. And that has recently been shifted from a chemistry only prerequisite, having taken chemistry, to actually saying if you've taken biology, you can take AP Environmental Science. And that's the same for getting into this program. Really the only thing that might be a little fast track would be making sure that by grade 10, you've taken Algebra 2. And so those are the prerequisites, and you can sort of see a layout here of what your courses might look like for, you know, 9th, 10th, and then 11th with in green, you see the Environmental Studies program, and your 12th grade year topical research and senior independent study is the internship component of that. And in there will also be a presentation that you give to industry experts on part showcasing your senior independent research. And so really, if you think about this space as being something that is not a school, because we're a classroom that is connected instead of to a school, to a nonprofit organization, the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. Your senior year, so you're sort of embedded in the community in a different way, but your senior year, you even get further connected to the community by connecting through that independent study or that immersive experience. All right, so if you are interested in applying for this program, please take a moment and write down these shortened URL links, or this URL link and maybe my contact information. This will help give you more information and access our application, or email me directly. I am the coordinator of the Environmental Studies program. And as you've heard students talk about, I also teach the program here. And technically, I'm also the nurse. I'm Wilderness First Aid certified. We're sort of a one-man show right now. As this batch of students moves up, we're going to be hiring another teacher so that we'll expand to a two-person show. Which will be exciting, and that way we'll be able to work with 12th graders and 11th grade students that come to our amazing facilities all at the same time. We are a tiny but mighty program, and I think that's important. We are family. We are here to help and create exciting memories along the way as you use science and sustainability to solve real-world problems. We are the Environmental Studies program, and I thank you so much for your time. I want to be able to take some questions from y'all, and I've had some students that were looking at the questions while we've been chatting. And so at this time, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I guess I could show you one more picture that I have before we stop sharing, which this is where we're at right now with our building. We're most of the way there. This was taken last week. All the siding's on now. They're doing a lot of work inside. I did a hard hat tour today of the internal space, coming along really, really fast, and is on target to be completed and for us to be moving in late January, early February. In the meantime, when students have been here, we've been in the Oyster Conference Room, which is part of the Brock Environmental Center that this building that you see in this picture is connected to through adjoining decks. And all the space is for students to learn. I mean, you can learn a lot from taking a slow walk to the bathroom and bumping into some of the Chesapeake Bay Foundation staff and being able to talk to them. So it really is a unique opportunity, and I hope you're interested in learning more. Before everyone jumps off, I know we have some questions, but before everyone jumps off, I will want to put in the comment box a little survey so that I can learn a little bit more about you, and that you will have some more information. It also has the links to the application, has the due date information, which is February 1st is when that's due, and that sort of thing. So without any further ado, Jordan, Ava, Michaela, did you see any questions that were sort of across the board?
The main question was basically about like if you can attend Ocean Lakes like Academy and also this program.
Yeah, so we want to think about equity with this, and it is really challenging to be in essentially an academy and also this program at the same time. It's not insurmountable. There are some academies that won't let you do that. I really encourage you, if you're thinking about doing that, to talk to the coordinator of the academy that you're in. Because there have been some academies that say yes and encourage that sort of partnership with our program. but some academies just, there's not the compatibility there. And so that's not so much a question for me, but really for the coordinator of whatever academy that you're a part of.
And I think an important question would be like how this program is like affected by COVID this year and like what we are still able to do.
Yeah, so, you know, it's been really interesting because there's been a lot of equipment that's one of a kind to this program that students have access to, but haven't been able to handle as much. I mean, we have water quality testing equipment that no other high school has in the entire country. And students haven't been able to handle all of that. We've only had students here for 2 days. And that was only half of our classes. So we have been doing alternative learning adventures where we have scavenger hunt learning sessions, but we've also been adapting that to some degree for people that can't leave their home or aren't in a spot where they can easily get out into nature, and people can do more research-based work for that as well. So we certainly create some options there, but we've been learning digitally along with everyone else. For quite a while, we've been offering after school Thursday walks in the area where I've sort of been leading people around Pleasure House Point and talking to them about the program and showing off a little bit of what our program has to offer that they haven't really been able to see. And they've had some equipment like microscopes that hook up to your phone and allow you to view things at 60x, which is pretty cool. Meat thermometers for taking air temperature and water temperature and that stuff. So we've had to adapt. Obviously, using your meat thermometer from home is not the same thing as using some of the high-end equipment that we have here. But we're rolling and we're trying to make do and make learning exciting.
And like other question that we saw was basically like transportation, basically like how do the buses run and if like every school gets provided like a bus.
Yes, every school does get provided a bus, and you know it's different for each school. There is a for some of the schools there's a transfer at Bayside, so you wouldn't even it just goes from one bus to another, but one bus pulls up to the next, you literally get out and then they shuttle you from there to the Brock Environmental Center. And so it does get a little complicated for some schools, but it's just a matter of one bus literally drives up next to the shuttle bus that takes you here, and then you get off and get onto the shuttle bus, and then they bring you here. I don't know if any of the students here were a part of that, or if the students drove. Were any of you on the shuttle? No? Shucks. It would have been nice to have someone talk about that. Parks, could you try saying that again? Your mic, we were having some connectivity problems.
Are you talking about the bus that takes you from the school to the Brock Center?
Yes.
Yeah, I was on it.
So could you describe your transportation to and from your school, just so you can explain that experience a little bit? Was it much different from just going to your school?
It was really it's really like ATC. Bus comes and they pick you up and then they take you to the Brock Center. They stop at all the high schools on that route. I think there's 2 buses. But for me and another student, we were the only stop. So it was just from Cox to the Brock Center.
And so it's important to realize that for the PM session, it'll look a little bit different than the AM session. And so some schools do have a quick transfer, but not too bad. But at any rate, yes, every school has transportation that's provided to the environmental studies program. What are some other questions, y'all?
Someone asked if we have to like know what strand that we want to be in when we like apply for the program, like the architecture one, the sustainability, and like those ones.
So, you know, it's important to be open-minded and come into this experience maybe with some passions and things that you're thinking about, but the hope is that you grow into a strand. And maybe some people know from day one what they want to be a part of, but that's certainly not a requirement. I think most people in life, if you're an exciting individual, you have interests pulling you all sorts of different directions your whole life. And so knowing that what you want to do as you go into this program, because we're so small, we try and work with you. It will be important that you figure out a strand before your senior year so that we can find a nice placement for you for your mentorship.
Someone also asked like when our applications due.
So February 1st are when applications are due. You want to make sure you not only fill it out, but you hit submit. That'll be an important piece of this. And I think I just saw something pop up about animal behavioral studies. And that would most likely, depending on what your preferences are, would most likely go through, say, the aquarium or through oyster work with the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. There are some other potential opportunities when you're looking at animal research, but there might be some potential for some other specialty things if someone has a very, very specific interest that they're interested in trying to do that we can work with you to find. Again, I mean, we have 50 people a year that are in 11th grade and 50 people in the senior year class. So we're real small and we try and tailor our experiences to your needs.
They were asking about like the application like process, like getting chosen, like is it like a lottery process still basically?
Yes, so it is a lottery, and we're really trying to make an effort to make sure that people from every school in Virginia Beach have the opportunity to come here, and we're trying to revisit that application to really focus on that equity piece. I want everyone to have an opportunity here. This is a really magical place. Clearly, as you're thinking through applying, you want to make sure that you take the time with those essays to talk about your passions, really show your interest in this program, so that we make sure that we can put you into that space that when we start the lottery process, you're meeting all those marks. Yes.
Are like letter recommendations like a part of the application process at all?
Yes, so right now we no longer require parent recommendations, but they still will do teacher recommendations. And so that will be a small part of what we're looking at. And I'm seeing a question about mentorship possibilities with the zoo. I am actively looking for community partners, certainly trying to reach out to the zoo as well. There is some potential there. The trick really is how we could commute to the zoo. So that is a bit of a drive from Virginia Beach. And we want these partnerships to be meaningful. So right now we're looking at for senior year, if we can, and we're in discussion. I mean, this is an evolving program. We're writing the curriculum for our senior year right now. But we're looking at, is it possible to have students spend a day at their school for their senior year instead of a half day here, and then a full day at our program so that they can have more time to get to their internships and more opportunity to have a more meaningful, enriching full day experience during the mentorship process. So hopefully the zoo could be a part of that. We're going to be continuing to look for partnerships with programs like the aquarium and like the zoo, like Dominion Energy, places that really will be regional avenues for job opportunities and great experiences for everybody. It's good to know about that conservation youth team. I've heard about it, but I haven't dug in much. So thank you for letting me know about that and reminding me about that. So I'm seeing a question about cost to the program. There is no cost. The only way that there would be a cost associated with this program is for, say, if you were going to do something with the Teton Science School. For that, we'd be having a fee that would involve getting you out to that space. But other than that, all the programs, everything that we do here is free. Now, if there was some sort of other opportunity, like doing an overnight at Tangier Island or staying in one of the Chesapeake Bay facilities, that are out on the bay in one of their cabins and doing some research out there, there could be some potential for some add-on costs for that. But in terms of just coming here and learning and getting access to this equipment and using the dock and all the exciting stuff that is here, no, there's not. This is part of this amazing public school system that we're in. A public-private partnership between the Chesapeake Bay Foundation and the Virginia Beach City Public Schools. All right. Are there other questions? Have I answered stuff? We've been here for about an hour. You know, I think this whole thing will go to 7:30 if you want it to, but we don't have to go that long if I can answer everyone's questions before then. I saw something about was that 4x4 affecting what we're doing here? We're not on students come here every single day, no matter what. And the classes here are year-long classes. So right now we're in we're really in the early stages of all of our classes. We do have watershed hydrology and natural resource management as half-year courses. So they will switch out. Right now we're in watershed hydrology and we'll be switching to natural resource management. But aside from that, the sustainability course and AP Environmental are full year-long courses. So we've been doing our own thing while all these other schools are doing this other schedule where you're coming to year's end for your classes right now. Really the application process for the Academy is some essays that really are there to give you an opportunity to explain to me and the other people that will be reviewing your application, you know, your interest in this program, how you can connect some of the things that are going on here to your life and your maybe career ambitions, to get teacher recommendations and for us to see your grades. And so we'll be evaluating you on those fronts. And if you check all those boxes, if we look through everything and put you into the lottery system, then it's a matter of you getting chosen there through that lottery and then coming out to this amazing facilities. Oh, and we want you here. So keep in mind that our first year of applicants were last year, and we did have quite a lot of applications. But it was before we had a building, before we had pictures of anything that was going on. And so, you know, it's been interesting trying to get into schools to talk about the program during COVID. But really, now that we have pictures for the program and can show people what the building's going to look like when we move into the building, there's been a big uptick in applications. With that being said, you shouldn't feel intimidated by that. You know, this is your time, and it's important to put yourself out there and to take a chance, because you'll never know unless you put yourself out there. What are some other questions? So independent study, an independent study presentation. So really the most important thing is the internship / mentorship, right? I'm not real interested in, you know, as we're designing this right now, you know, the most important thing is for you to get a lifelong experience. And that's the real deal. I want you to walk away with something that has impacted your life. And so we want that internship / mentorship to be really, really rewarding and meaningful and substantial. Something that's going to be a really powerful experience for you. And also for the organization that you're partnering with. It's a big deal to be connected in that way to an organization. And so the other piece of this is a way for you to sort of showcase what you know. And it's more of a celebration than anything else. It's a way for you to walk us through some of what you've been so engaged in during that mentorship. But I don't have an example of one because we haven't even finished writing the courses yet. This is such a new program that we aren't even finished with that yet. Could this tie into your senior project at your homeschool? Absolutely, yeah, totally. I mean, that's like a no-brainer, you know. I would be baffled if that doesn't happen. You know, you have an extra opportunity here to have this embedded relationship with an organization, to have a huge amount of time to do that. You know, I couldn't fathom a school not wanting to show off what you're doing with us. Well, y'all, is anyone seeing questions that I'm not answering? It's 7 o'clock. I want to be respectful of folks' time. Thanks so much for considering us. Before you go, and I think some people have jumped off already, but let me paste in the comment section form where I can maybe get a little information from you, and you can have my email address if you have further questions. Where is that comment box? Chat. Here it is. So if you click on that right there, that will be a way that you can stay in touch and fill out some information that will be good for me to keep track of you. Oh, I sent that privately. My apologies. This is to everybody. Here you go. There you are. Hopefully everybody sees that and you can click on that. And so if you want to stay on, I'll be happy to hang with you. But as far as I'm concerned, meeting adjourned. And hopefully I'll be seeing you next year. Take care, y'all.
Freeman, I heard this rumor. I don't know if it's a rumor. Is the Earth's layer a hypothesis? Like, is the mantle a hypothesis?
So it's an interesting question. We have never been inside of our mantle, right? So we've only been inside of the crust.
Oh
We-
my God, that's so crazy to me. I
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
that.
yeah. So it is sort of a theory, but it's a theory that's really steeped in sound, right? So the very voice that's coming out of my mouth right now is coming to your ears in what's called a P wave, right? And so we use P waves and S waves to discover what's inside of Earth. We understand the speed that they travel through different mediums, and they travel at a curve through Earth. And so S waves, when they hit a liquid, they stop moving, and P waves will travel through that liquid. So, you know, we've been able to figure out where liquids are inside Earth by essentially listening to Earth. We do seismic testing, and we listen to earthquakes, and that is our best guess at not only what's inside Earth, but even in terms of the materials that are inside Earth, and the weight, you know, is based essentially off of the velocity of stuff going through P waves and S waves. So yeah, that's a great question.
That is so mind blowing. I pooped myself. I texted him. I was like, this has been a lie, because it's always been stated as fact. And like, yeah, I get it. Like a hypothesis or a theory can have a lot of proof behind it, but I was pooping myself. I was not.
Well, so yeah, it's an exciting thing, but you know, geology is a really young field, and so there's a lot of stuff to be explored there. So cool stuff.
That was my reaction to when I found out Christopher Columbus did not just